Hello, I'm George. Some people on Instagram have been asking me about fiddle figs. I'm George Thomas with an I on Instagram. I'll pop it up on the screen. So I thought I'd just do a quick review about it so you can see. I have two fiddle figs. One's doing well, one's not doing well. So I just wanted to tell you this story about this one. So when I bought this plant, which is, I'm sitting down at the moment, so this is quite a bit bigger. It was like a small shrub, because back when I bought it a few years ago, fiddle figs were not, you know, as common as they are now. So they were very, very expensive. So I couldn't afford to have the tree that I wanted to have. So I bought this little shrub and I started cutting off the leaves from the bottom to, you know, bring it into a more tree shape. And I used a, you know, a trellis with, you can see the top of the bamboo cane here. And I just thought, you know, nature would take its course. It would grow big and tall and then start branching out to a tree like normal trees do. And then I saw something on YouTube that said that that's not the case. That if you want branches from your fiddle fig, you have to create branches. And I kind of got sad on the inside about that, because I thought, oh my God, what? And the one that I watched, they said that you need to wait until, you know, the stem is woody, which this one's, you know, always been woody, and it's quite a thick, for, you know, for a size stem. But it said that you need to cut off the top of it and cut it so the tree forms stems. Now, subsequently from that, I watched Plantera, and is that Plantera or Plant? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I'll put it up on the screen. And she was talking about a system where you make incisions into the trunk to encourage stemming. Now, I'd already chopped off the top. So this was about like this big, and I'd already chopped it off at that point. And she also talked about, you know, snipping it, putting the little nudie bits off here, which I'll show you more close up. And so the moment that I heard that, I got so frightened, because I thought, oh my God, I've done this without much thought. I just did it, we were eating dinner here, and I just went over and I just went, and I could have done the wrong thing. And for ages, there was nothing. There was nothing. There was no movement. And I thought, oh my God, I've killed this thing. I've killed this thing. Everyone talked about how difficult fiddle figs or ficus lyrata are to grow. And I had such luck with this, you know, with this plant, particularly because our front room here is just full of windows. The whole front of it is windows. And it's just the perfect, for whatever reason, the perfect environment for fiddle figs. So I was really scared that I had damaged this thing. But then about, you know, a week and a half ago, oh no, maybe longer, because there are already new leaves, but stuff started to happen. So I wanted to show you this, and for those of you who have done the big snip, I wanted you to be like, to know that for a long time, nothing happens and you think you've just died and the whole thing was going to rot from the, you know, top down. But stuff happens. So I'll show you that right now, and hopefully you won't freak out as much as I did. Alrighty, so if I can get a real close up of this for you, you can see that this here is where I made the cut. So I cut the top off. There was maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 leaf growth on that top bit, which I cut off. I'm propagating that in water. I used to propagate the leaves of the leaf figs, and they would grow these really big healthy roots from the leaves, and then I'd put it in soil and nothing would happen until it would die. And then I found out that that's what the leaves of the plants do. You actually need a stem from a fiddle fig for it to grow through propagation. So I'm trying it with this stem. Even though I've had all this new growth since I cut it off, the stem that I've cut off still hasn't produced any roots. It doesn't look worse, and I'll show you in a minute. It doesn't look any worse than it was when I cut it off, I guess I should say. But it's amazing that that hasn't happened, and maybe it's because the stem takes a little bit longer. You know, we are, you know, it's the cooler months here now, so maybe that's part of it as well. So I cut the stem off, which is that bit there, and nothing happened, and it actually looked like it was going to die. And what happened then is one of these came, one of these came, and one of these came. Now out of here, a leaf has already grown. Now it does have some of those red spots on there, which is to do with, you know, incongruent watering. To be honest, that has happened with every single new leaf I've had from a fiddle leaf fig. And it's never been an issue. It grows out. You know, this leaf had it, for instance. So it has never bothered me. I know some people freak out when they see that, but I knew particularly for this plant that I needed to give it a little bit more love, because I had given it, you know, this snip, and I needed to help the hormones along to grow out and to branch. So what Plantera has said, that instead of doing the drastic cut that I did, which is there, you can just pop this guy out here. Now these guys are where the new leaves come from when it just keeps growing and growing up. But I didn't do that, but you can just take that one off. But so this leaf has grown out of this side, and it's got a green stem there, as you can see, and a new leaf is ready to come. On this side, we have a very prominent green stem. This is the first leaf that came out. Yeah, it's got a little bit of red spotting on the back. Nothing to worry about. It'll be fine. And a new leaf. And then a third side, which I'm like, 3 branches. Oh my God, 3 branches. Look at this one here. So he's going to come out and leaf. And, you know, it's winter here in Australia, but this is happening. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy to have a tree, because I wanted a tree. And I'll show you where I want to put this. But that would mean showing the worst thing that has happened to me plant-wise in many, many years in that spot. So that's my guy over here. So in this corner is where the plant you've just seen used to live. And what I wanted is, oh my gosh, I think if I stand back a bit, hang on, let me just have just got my coffee here. I'm just gonna have a little sippy loo. You can see I've got some propagating happening there that I'm doing at the moment. And because this room, even though it's raining and grey outside at the moment, this room does get the most light. So I've just got those guys there. But in this corner, I wanted, you know, a tree to go up there and then kind of climb over there and be amazing. And so this little guy here was always there. However, we were at Costco one day and Mr. Thomas bought me this huge fiddle leaf fig, which was only $40, and it was big and massive and wonderful and beautiful. And then it started to die a slow death, and I thought, but I don't understand. It's in the same spot that the other one was in. Why is it dying? It can't be me, surely. It's Costco. Damn you, Costco, and you crap soil. Anyway, repotted him, you know, which I don't like to do straight away when buying things. But then he still continued to suffer, and it got like really, 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 really bad. Like, I'm talking lime green leaves, just full of nothingness. And, you know, we sit here and this is where we eat our dinner. And so every dinner time I would, you know, cry about it. And, you know, Mr. Thomas would just be like, oh, he got so frustrated with me that he started looking it up myself. And I started, you know, doing the whole shower thing and everything. And then one day I was home, I was alone, and I just thought, you know what, bugger this, I'm not going to let this defeat me. So I had a real hard look at this guy. I took it out of his pot, I had a real good look at his roots, broke everything apart. His roots looked, you know, okay, but then I noticed spider mites. And that's the thing with fiddle leaf figs is, and if I get really close you can see how bad this guy is. They've got so many places where they can go. They can go in here and out and like get all in under here. And what I had on this tree, because, and look, I am gonna be like down on Costco for a little bit here, and a lot of those big, you know, kind of huge nursery type places, they feed them with hormones, you know, with fertilizer. They put them under grow lights. They want to get the plants really big and really luscious, so they look fantastic for sale. And then you take them home and you're not giving them that same treatment. But also you have a situation where you have, you know, a ficus lyrata like this, which has grown tall, but it still has a green stem, even though it's, you know, at like 4 foot tall at this stage. This, you know, for that growth, this should be brown and woody. So that's what told me that this had just been, you know, pumped up massively to grow. So I did expect a little bit of, you know, a settling period, you know, just settling in, but not to the degree. So anyway, all up here, you know where the husks that the leaves come out of, these things here? That's where the little bastard spider mites were getting in. So this guy has had to have a really, really drastic scenario. I had to, you know, with all the damaged leaves, it wasn't going to get, it wouldn't be able to doing the photosynthesis that it needed to repair itself with, you know, leaves that were just completely rotten. So I actually had, oh my God, I'm gonna cry talking about this. I had 4 stems like this at this size on this plant, and I cut 2 of them off. There's one here that I've cut back, and you can see that damage there. And you know, I should have known that it was something eating it, but I was so like, you know, the only problem I have here is gnats. I don't have a problem with spider mites. That doesn't happen in this household, like an idiot. But it happened, and I wanted to, you know, I said, you know, he's dying anyway. I can do something drastic and try and revive him, or I can just, you know, dump him. So I did something really drastic, and I cut, sorry, I just bumped into the chair. I cut a lot off of him, and you know what, he's doing all right. I've been using the, you know, the seaweed on him. He's had a couple of showers. He, I don't know why for me a lot of plants are he's, I don't know, maybe whatever. But anyway, something that I noticed, and I don't know if I'll pick it up because it's so dark outside and the light is terrible. Now, where was it? There was someone here, and maybe it was just me hoping more than anything else. Maybe it was me hoping. I did see somewhere last night, look at this, really up close and personal. There was a little knob. A little knob had come out, and oh, where was he? Oh yeah. Alrighty, let's have a look. Where are we? Camera. Under that husk, can you see? Under that husk. Oh my God, this is such a small thing, but you, like, when you have a plant that's doing so badly and you see this small sign, and I can't show you because the light's really crap, but there's a little nobbin, which just blessed my heart. I was so happy to see. So this guy, if you want to see an update on him, please let me know. He's not been making any appearances on Instagram because he's so sad, but you know, maybe he's like one of those, you know, the reality is, you know, like that guy, he's looking amazing, focus, and the, you know, no, he's the reality, and then he's the Instagram, you know, look at me, I'm so pretty. Anyway, he is so pretty, but he's gonna be a tree. And you know, this guy, he's gonna stay a bush, and he's gonna be fine and beautiful and wonderful because I love him so much. So now I'm gonna quickly grab the cuttings that I took from both this one and that one, and I'll just show you what I'm doing. Martini, you happy the fries on? You loving life? You don't want to talk to me? That's understandable. Okay, that stand didn't work at all. God, I'm seeing myself this close up. It's frightening. Anyway, hang on. I've only had like 2 coffees today, so I'm behind. Hello. So this here is the top of my friend over there. And I mean, the leaves are really, really healthy, like really healthy, because that plant is amazing. But as of yet, I don't have any roots. So And I water propagate everything because I need to see stuff. I need to see stuff happening. I need to know that it's happening. I can't put it in the ground and just let it go. I can't do it. So I water propagate, and it's so easy because who just wants to have a seeding tray, you know, all that stuff. So I water propagate. I'm part of that thing. This sad specimen is one of the bits that I cut off your man over there. No roots yet, but I can see like the little white, you won't be able to pick it up on camera. I can see the little white bulbs on the end of it. That shows that, you know, roots are coming. And then I thought I would just put like a stick in, and that nothing's happening. We'll just pretend that doesn't exist. So hopefully I can get something out of those. But it's fine because she's looking so good. It's a she now instead of a he. My plants are non-binary. So yeah, don't be afraid to do the big snipperoo to get a tree, because who doesn't want a tree in their house? I want a tree in my house. I want more than one tree in my house. I don't know how I can sneak that in without Mr. Thomas realising, but we're working on it. I'm just excited to see how that's going to look, and I think that's the cool thing about fiddly figs. They have these big leaves, but when they grow in like one, you know, kind of column, it doesn't show off how amazing their leaf structure is. So I'm very excited to have 3 branches. So that is all for me today. Like, subscribe, do all of that. And I may not ever see you again because I may not get up the courage to make another video. So let's see. Thanks, bye.